Detective Comics number 5, written by Tony S. Daniel, art also by Tony S. Daniel. We left off with the end of an arc, so I'm not even going to bother recapping it. Just know the Dollmaker stuff seems to be done. This issue picks up with Batman jumping around the city, and he's talking about people who want to see him dead or alive because apparently after the Joker stuff from the first issue, a group of people have been gathering outside of the park that are all pro Joker and anti Batman because they think that Batman skinned Joker alive. So that's a thing. So they're just holding riots and protests and whatnot against Batman, and Batman's like, all right, I don't have time for that. I'm gonna go actually do something with the night. And apparently he's following around some guy named Axel Bellamy, who is a guy who just does some hijacking and stuff like that. And he follows him to another guy named Boris Gorsky. Again, no idea what for. Some sort of medical thing, apparently. Regardless, Boris gets a shuriken to the eye, and this dude in a Joker mask that all the protesters are wearing jumps in with some sais and other ninja tools, and he just starts killing everybody at this drug deal. Batman swoops in, tries to follow him, but the guy manages to dodge some punches and then spray acid onto Batman's face. He runs off, gets lost in the crowd of all the Joker protesters, and all the protesters are like, hey, this dude's dressed as Batman, let's kick his ass, yeah. And they all start trying to fight him, but of course he's, Batman. So he gets out of the crowd and he's like, hey, there's a killer over, someone stop the, geez, whatever. So he goes, he gets out, and one of the people in the crowd's like, I think that was actually Batman. So they keep on trying to chase him a little bit, but he manages to almost catch up with the killer, who he keeps on remarking moves without a sound, like he's a complete ninja, totally stealth. But as he's catching up, he sees that the dude took off the mask and the other outfit, he was the trench coat he was wearing, and jumped into a motorboat and got away with no way of tracing him. There was no face, nothing to identify him. He was hoping to run the mask and get some DNA off of it, but then he sees out of the trench coat falls a casino chip, like a gambling chip, for the Iceberg Lounge, which is, of course, Penguin's place of residence. Cut to several miles up the harbor. There's a weird-looking mob boss, I guess. He's got, horrible scars and, welts and bumps all over his face, and they call him Mr. Mosaic. And he's basically wondering where his guy is. The dude from before, because the dude stole a briefcase from the drug deal. He shows up to this with the briefcase, and apparently he's he hands over the briefcase, and Mosaic is like, this doesn't look like 20K. Are you trying to scam me? And then the dude holds a gun to Mosaic's head. And he's like, all right, I guess we're square. Anything else you need tonight? And he steals Mosaic's limo, as well as a VIP card to the Iceberg Lounge, I think. Cut to the Iceberg Lounge, and we get Charlotte What's-Her-Name from, the beginning and end of this, Charlotte Rivers, the one that Bruce was seeing, the investigative reporter, as well as Hugh Martyr from issue 2, who just shows up again. And they meet on a boat outside the Iceberg Lounge, and Hugh's saying oh, of course, I can get you in because I'm rich and powerful, whatever. Charlotte is there looking for a story, I guess. She gets out of the shower, puts on a, I want to say maid's outfit, but I'm assuming that it's supposed to be the waitress outfit or whatever. And she's just reminiscing on I was supposed to be here with Bruce, but of course he bailed on me and blah, blah, blah. And then we see that cameras were installed inside of Charlotte's room. Penguin is watching all of this, and he tells his enforcers, who are just 3 ladies that I've never seen before, make sure she gets a story to die for. Ha, ha, ha. And that's it. Honestly, I don't really know what this story, it's a new story. It's obviously the start of a new arc, but I don't know what I'm supposed to be following here yet, whether it be the Penguin thing or the ninja thing. They just seem completely disconnected right now, which isn't inherently bad. I mean, you can have 2 different storylines that meet up later, but it felt like every turn of the page here was just a different thing, Page 1 was the Joker protests. Page 2 was him following this dude who hijacked a truck. Page 3 was this ninja guy. Page 4 was back to the Joker like every page was just its own different thing, and I wasn't quite sure where I was supposed to follow it yet. But I mean, I'm fine with that for the start of a story. It would be more confusing if we hit the end of it and it's still doing this. So I guess we'll see where it goes from there. I'm going to give this one 6.5. Art is fine. I have no problems with that at all. I'm just confused as to where the story wants to go with it. They did set up the Joker protests, I believe, in an earlier issue. So this is, a natural progression there. This didn't feel where it's all of a sudden like, oh, and now a bunch of people love the Joker for some reason. Like, I'm glad they at least set that up. The Hugh Martyr and the Charlotte River stuff, though, that was not set up. And if there's any story so far I don't care about, it's going to be that one. But we'll see where it goes. But like I said, 6.5 for this issue.